Once upon a time, in the heart of Hollywood, lived a middle-aged woman. She lived by herself and from time to time struggled with loneliness. Her loneliness was unpredictable. She rarely felt lonely in the morning, but nights could be rough. Her immediate family and closest friends lived far, far away. But at the same time, she was an introvert and wasn't always feeling other people. She avoided social media. She was easily tricked into believing those perfect lives she saw with every swipe up. Then one day, the world flipped upside down, and many of the things that kept loneliness at bay were taken away. But with middle age had come wisdom, which had taught her the only thing guaranteed in life was change. She used her daily walks in the neighborhood to help ease the loneliness, and unexpectedly, she fell in love.
There she is. All right, so before I tell you about my new love, I wanted to share a bit about how we met. A couple of years ago, I was introduced to a Japanese wellness practice called Shinrin Yoku. It's also known as forest bathing. And a forest therapy guide I know, a guy named Ben Page, took a group of us on a forest bathing walk. It was absolutely amazing. And he actually has a book coming out on June 29th, which I highly recommend. I have put a link in the description. So the basic philosophy of forest bathing is if humans go back into nature and spend more time where they came from, it will improve their health and well-being. Forest bathing is actually a really simple practice that I now use on my daily neighborhood walks. I don't take any phone so that I can be fully present. It's really about having a wandering mentality. I really try to let nature and my body lead the way. So as soon as I leave the house, the first thing I do is check in with my body because, as you know, in middle age, every day is different with the body. Some days my body wants to walk really slow and just take it easy. I went through this period where my body was like, I want to run. And I was like, no, we don't run. I don't want to run. For a couple of days, literally, I could just feel that my body wanted to run. So I honored the request and found a few sections during my walk where I actually did jog. And it turned out that, my body, for whatever reason, did need to run, and it felt really good. So after I check in with my body, I basically just stay open and curious. I have gotten so many signs and synchronicities on my walks, and I was so inspired by it that I actually created an event I do every so often called a magical walk. It's an invitation to develop a stronger relationship with your intuition and help you better notice the signs the universe may be using to communicate with you. It's kind of like me, Mother Nature, and the universe going on a walk and having a chat. And that results in magic. If that's something that speaks to you and you want to get notified the next time I do a magical walk, please sign up for my newsletter over at stephaniedanger.com. I'm amazed that there's always something new to discover on my walks. This year, I discovered how much my walks could help me deal with my increased loneliness. Life is filled with ups and downs, and it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from, but I find our society only likes to highlight the ups and has absolutely no interest in looking at the downs. And so I wanted to talk about loneliness because I'm a huge fan of normalizing the downs. I just don't know how we can live from a place of wholeness if we're only sharing the good parts. Loneliness has so many shades. By the time you hit midlife, you've probably experienced most of them, from mild to unspeakable. I've actually found my hardest bouts of loneliness have come tied to things out of my control, and usually loss, like my dog or my dad. Since we can't avoid feeling down at times, maybe the best approach is to make the downs feel okay. My walks don't completely take away my loneliness, but they do make it easier. On my walks, I try to pause when something catches my eye. I'm always stopping to smell roses in bloom. I hear and see hummingbirds everywhere. I actually had no idea what hummingbirds sounded like, but I do now. I say hello to bushes of rosemary and lavender by brushing my hand along them and then sniffing them. That is a guaranteed way to get a quick hit of euphoria. The other day I was struggling up a hill and wondering, why is this so hard? Which led me to asking, well, why is it so hard? And of course the default was, well, you're getting old. But then I decided to not accept that response and dig deeper, which led me to realizing, well, gravity is the reason it's so hard. But what was fascinating is I ended up at the place where I was like, oh my God, I am so damn grateful for gravity and its brilliance. Because without it, our muscles would completely atrophy and waste away. Gravity is in fact the thing that is going to help my body stay strong and healthy into old age. And so I have not complained about struggling up a hill since then. So you never know what new things you're going to learn or rediscover on a walk, which brings me to my new love. Early on in the world flipping upside down, this old girl caught my attention. It was like she insisted I pay attention to her. Ever since, for like the last year, I have spent time with her almost every day, and I've grown really attached to her. So I wanted you to meet her because she has become one of my go-tos when I'm feeling lonely. I know it seems weird, it's a tree. Sometimes when I'm talking to my mom and complaining, she'll be like, oh, just go talk to the tree. So that's what I do. There's just something about her strength and grandness that gives me a lot of comfort. When I was shooting footage for this video, a couple of women drove by while I was talking to the tree, and they asked me if I was talking to the tree. So I said yes, and they were like, I understand. I feel it. I share this as an invitation to consider less traditional ways of approaching the challenges we face in life. I think it's so important as we travel through midlife to challenge ourselves to step outside our comfort zone so that we don't get set in our ways. Staying open and curious is one of the key ingredients to vitality in older age. And so the next time you're out and about walking through your neighborhood, maybe do it with a wandering energy to see what messages nature and the universe have for you. Everything is valid. I remember Ben telling me this story from one of his guided walks where he sent everybody out to wander and to see what the forest had to offer and to bring it back if you could. And this woman brought back this piece of poop, and she said, my mom died last week, and this reminds me that shit happens and you don't go through life without this. So I did some research and I learned that she is around 105 years old. And as our relationship has deepened, not only does she help me through moments when I'm feeling lonely, but I have started to look at her as me in the future. I still struggle sometimes with the idea of getting old. Her weathered, deeply lined bark is where I'm headed. But when I look at her, she just seems so beautiful. She helps me think that when I do get old and gray, maybe I'll be able to look at myself the way I look at her, as a wise and beautiful elder. A couple of days ago, I asked the tree if she had any wisdom to share with us. I know that may seem weird, but go with it. I wrote it down so I don't mess it up. She said, when you want to be a force for good, start from a place of acceptance and non-judgment of what is in this moment. The acceptance of what is doesn't mean you're okay with what's happening in the world. It just gives you a more grounded, peaceful place to function from as you move forward. So I interpret that to mean don't waste all your energy on something that already is and you can't change. Accept that and spend your energy on doing the things to change the thing you don't like. Oh, it got windy all of a sudden. If you're someone who's been struggling lately, I hope this video helped a little bit. It can be very healing to nurture an intimate relationship with the land you live on. There's also a lot of magic out there. The tree and I wish all of you a lovely day and many magical walks in your neighborhood. Love you.